Hey, everyone, gonna give it a few more minutes for people to jump on. We got about 4 more minutes until everybody gets in. Hope everybody's doing well. A lot of questions. Okay, they're rolling in already. Just hang on another 5 minutes. Let me set up a little bit better here. Gonna have to put the glasses on to read the questions. I'm gonna do the best I could. Wow, got a bunch. A lot of people in here. Hope everybody is doing great. Good evening, Michael from Canada. 82-year-old caught you on Fox and she loves you. Well, thank you. Glad to hear that. I don't know how many of you are going to be coming in from the UK tonight, but I'll be going on tour there. I leave here, America, on March 12th, and our tour goes from the 15th through, I think, April 2nd. Got about 12 dates, something like that. So I'm looking forward to it. For all those of you in the UK, hope you got the schedule and hope to see you in one of the cities. And tonight, I just wanted to connect with everybody. It's been a while since I did a live, and just show you that I do appreciate all the new subs that have come on, all the new followers, and of course, all those of you that have been here for quite some time. Thank you very much. I have a bunch of interviews coming up with some very interesting people, and I'm going to be doing a lot of them over the next 10 days and getting prepared for when I leave the country. So we keep the content coming. Let me see. What are your thoughts on the Catholic religion? Okay. Just keep those questions coming. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes until everybody gets in, and then we'll start. Got over 400 and some odd people already, so this is looking good. And people, you can ask me anything that you want, but let's keep it, let's get some good questions in there. For those of you that may not know, I'm on Rumble now. I know some of the people on YouTube, you don't like when I get into everyday issues, current issues, politics, if you might say, but I have a little easier time doing that on Rumble. There's my wife. Can you help me with the questions? So I can. I'm doing a live right now with YouTube. I'm on right now.
You just randomly decided?
No, I didn't. Yes, everything is good. Marcelo, thank you very much. Do you believe Joe Biden will be the Democratic nominee? Oh, give me another minute before we start answering the questions. Got a lot of them. Okay. Dayton, Ohio. I wish I can slow this down. How do you slow down the questions so that I can really see them? If I don't answer, just keep putting your questions in because maybe I'll miss it and then come back to it.
You can't see them. You need some people. That's why most people will have people in there helping them.
You can come in if you want.
Next time you can designate like people that you know in there and they can help you.
Okay, it's 5 p.m. Ready to go. First of all, let me say hello to everyone. How is everybody doing today? It's close to March 1st. We already got 2 months down in this year, 2024. I think it's going to be quite an interesting year with the election coming up. A lot of things. It's going to be crazy. I can tell you that right now. We got 2 crazy candidates in there. And, it's going to be very interesting. That's all I could say between now and November. For those of you that are into it, I think Nikki Haley will be dropping out soon. She's waiting for Super Tuesday, which is coming up in March. And I'm sure after that, she'll be out because Trump is going to be the nominee. Whatever might happen with him, who knows? But he will be the nominee. Anyhow, let's get into some of the questions. First of all, again, I just wanted to connect with my viewers and all the subs that have been so loyal. Know that I appreciate it. If you have any suggestions here about content you may want me to put in to YouTube, let me know. Like I just said, if you missed it, I'll be doing a number of interviews over the next 2 weeks. A lot of very interesting people that'll be coming up, sit downs, I should say. A lot going on. And but if you have any suggestions, any particular content you want to hear or you want me to post, let me know. And for those of you out there, understand something. I'm not going to make up mob stories. You all know my history, you know my future, you know everything about me. I'm not going to get into that, really. But I've said that many times, and I just want to make that clear. There are other platforms here if you want to go listen to the mob stories. But when I do have something interesting to talk about, it will be posted on here, and you know that. So let's start to get into some of the questions.
What's your favorite passage from the Bible?
What's my favorite passage from the Bible? Interesting first questions. Well, I have two of them right here. Proverbs 16:7, when a man's ways are pleasing to the Lord, even his enemies are at peace with him. I think you can understand why I relate to that. It was one of the first passages, actually the first, when I first got put in solitary that second time that I was locked up for a while. And then Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and get this, he will make your path straight. So that's kind of my story, acknowledging the Lord, giving him all the praise and glory, and he's helped me out tremendously. So those are my two verses.
Okay. Would love to have you join New York Yankees Underground for a New York Yankee game in the Audi Club on Saturday, April 20th at Yankee Stadium.
Okay, somebody's asking me about joining the New York Yankee Underground. If you email me and tell me how to do that, or message me on Instagram, tell me how to do that. I'm a diehard Yankee fan. I already watched the game today, and man, they're hitting like crazy. It's only spring, doesn't mean anything. I hope they're not teasing us like they did last year. But yeah, Instagram me, send me a direct message and let me know how to do that, and I'll certainly get involved. My dear friend Patrick Bet-David is now a minority owner in the Yankees. I made that suggestion to him. He took me up on it. Took him a while to get approved, but he did get approved. So I have kind of, another little special into the Yankee kingdom. But do DM me, and I will get involved in that if I possibly can.
How did the mob make money from card games?
How did the mob make money from card games? Same way everybody else does. You cut the game, you charge your fee, and you take some money off the top. And the more people that play, the more money that grows across the table, the more money you earn. So, it's just like legitimate. They do it the same way. They take a cut. And we did it the same way. And I know they like to say that, we hurt people that didn't pay. Nonsense. We encouraged people to come and play. We took a cut of the game, and it was a lot of fun.
Okay, Dan from Newport Coast says hello.
Dan from Newport Coast says hello. How are you, Dan? Do we know each other? If not, hopefully we'll get to meet each other one day. I go to Italian restaurant up there on the coast. What's the name of that restaurant? Moto Mio. Love it. So maybe I'll catch you up there one day.
Do you believe that there's redemption for everyone?
Do I believe there is redemption for everyone? As a Christian, I have to believe that. Goes back to the thief on the cross. In the last few moments of his life, he saw something real in Jesus, asked for forgiveness. And what did Jesus say? He said, today you'll be with me in paradise. He didn't review the man's sins. He didn't do anything. It's all about sincerity in the heart. I know that's a hard concept for people to understand. We think that there's evil people in the world, and we are. And we know that there are. Possessed by Satan, they're under the demon's control. But if they have a change of heart and they believe in Jesus, and that's what we believe, you accept Jesus as your Savior, you ask for redemption, then you will be saved. Hard concept for some to understand, but that's the loving and merciful God that we believe in.
Okay, Mike Kane from Houston says hello, and he loves your stories.
Michael Kane from Houston says hello, loves my stories. Michael, thank you very much, and thanks for jumping on here. Appreciate it very much.
Favorite pasta dish?
My favorite pasta dish. My wife made a dish last night. I think she posted it. You got to look at it on Instagram in my story and see it. It's unbelievable. It was amatriciana. She made it. It's not my favorite. I love many, many pastas. Anything my wife makes, I love. But I'm just into old pastas. I like the lighter sauces. The lighter sauces, I should say. I'm just into that. But I love everything. I don't turn down pasta as long as it's prepared right. I love it.
Did you have any dealings with the Rizzuto family in Canada?
Did I have any dealings with the Rizzuto family in Canada? No, I did not. My family did. The Colombos did. I did hear certain things about them, but I personally never had any dealings with them. No.
greetings from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Greetings from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'd love to visit there one day. Here, there's a lot of Italians in Argentina, but haven't made it down to South America. Been everywhere else, not South America, but hopefully one day. So thank you very much for the greetings.
Any news about the series that's supposed to be made on your life?
Any news about the series? The only thing I will tell you that after the writer's strike and the pandemic and everything slowed down the industry, that it's now picking up steam again. And a little twist, this is a tough industry, people. Trust me when I say it takes so long to get everything done. You know, the average time for a movie, from the time somebody is engaged to write a script until people are actually sitting in the theater to watch the movie, the average time is 13 years. Now, we're going to cut that down considerably. I think we'll be seeing something towards the end of next year. It might be in the form of a movie first, but stay tuned. It is happening, and it's moving forward after, like I said, the pandemic, the writer's strike, all these strikes took a lot out of the industry, but it's picked up steam again.
Okay, Dickie Farley says, hope you and your wife have an awesome day.
Dickie Farley wishes me and my wife an awesome day. Dickie, thank you very much. We always enjoy the well wishes, appreciate them very much, and obviously we extend them right back to all of you.
Cindy says she really enjoyed your interview with the London gangster.
You enjoyed my interview with the London gangster. Who said that, Linda?
Yeah. No, Cindy.
Oh, Cindy. I'm sorry. Cindy, I got to be honest with you. I could hardly understand anything that he was saying. It was tough for me. I'm glad you did enjoy it. I haven't watched it yet, but he spoke so fast. It's so hard to pick up some of the, words of what those people say, especially those from Liverpool and Scotland and Ireland. Man, it's tough. When I do a Q&A there, I have to have somebody translating to me the English that they're telling me. I always say, we speak American, they speak English. Got to answer this question. Somebody is asking about Franzese wine and how to get involved as an associate. People, I got to tell you, we are leaps and bounds ahead of where we should be after 2 years in business. And I don't know if you know this, but we've taken on about 200 associates on a couple of lives that we have done. People are very, very happy with the deal that we've and the opportunity that we've been giving them. It's not a money grab in any way. Anybody can be an associate of ours. And tomorrow night at 5 p.m., Pacific time, we're holding another webinar because we have an extraordinary demand for people that want to jump on board. Pretty soon we'll be all over the country. We're going to be in the United Kingdom. We got some big things happening. If anybody's interested, we'll put it in the chat, opportunity.franzesewine.com. You got to go on right now and register because this is a closed session tomorrow. We're only taking so many more people aboard. Opportunity.franzesewine.com. And thank you. If any of you are on here that are our associates already, you see what's happening. It's really a great opportunity. I don't know if any of you, got new things going on this year, but if you want to jump on board, my partner, my associate, you're welcome. Opportunity.franzesewine.com. We'll be putting that in the chat right now. Bob Gable, did you see that Gambino and Genovese families forbid being on podcasts? Well, I don't know about that. There's some word going on that, one of the guys on here, I'm not even going to mention his name, was given strict orders to stay off of it. I don't know if that's true or not, but I doubt anybody's going to pay attention anyway. Another one, Robert Sullivan, when will you be in the Midwest? Brenda and I want a road trip to see you in the inner circle. Well, not going to be for a while. Probably after, I would say probably after May, I'll be back in the Midwest, and that's on wine business. We have a lot going on there right now.
Okay. Red Panda. What are your thoughts on UFOs, and have you ever had a UFO experience?
I've never had Red Panda asking about my thoughts on UFOs. I've never really had an experience, although I have to say this. Many, many years ago, me and my very young wife, we were young in marriage at that time, were in Vegas. And we looked up on the sky and we saw this weird, system of lights. We couldn't explain it. It was there, and all of a sudden it took off. Was it a UFO? I don't know. We both looked at each other because we were looking at it for quite some time, and then it just took off like boom. So I don't know. It could have been, one of our aircraft. Who knows? I don't know. As a Christian, it's very hard for me unless I see really hardcore evidence that I can rely on, not the stuff that the government says or don't say. It'd have to be hardcore evidence, and then I'd have to say, "Wow, is there another universe? Did God create, another system of life somewhere else?" But right now, I'm not buying it. I need more evidence.
Tennessee Outlaw says, "Much love to you, my brother in Christ."
Tennessee Outlaw,
Tennessee Outlaw.
who?
Tennessee Outlaw.
Tennessee Outlaw says, much love to you, my brother in Christ, and much love back to you, my friend. Thank you very much for that.
Okay. Jeff Nadeau with the Sit Down News wanted to thank you directly for the kind gesture and mentioning me as a channel you enjoy. Much respect.
Well, Jeff Nadeau just came on and just gave me a thank you in the chat for giving him a shout out. And Jeff, I mean that. You're one of the good ones out there. I appreciate everything that you do. You play it down the middle. You're pretty balanced. You do your homework. I think people can rely on what it is you have to say. For those of you on this chat, tune in to Jeff Nadeau. He's got a great platform, great channel on YouTube. I think you'll enjoy everything he has to say. And he's got my endorsement. And, he's had people on that, haven't said wonderful things about me, but that's okay. He puts people on there and he does the right work. And I appreciate that, So he's a real, I would call him a journalist among the whole group of people out there. So tune in to Jeff. I think you'll enjoy the experience with him. And Jeff, thank you very much and keep up the great work. Maybe one day we'll get together. I'll come on you or whatever. We'll figure it out. Okay. Love from Montreal. Michael, you got a couple of fuzzles. I got something I got to take care of. Well, we'll see about that, my friend. We're not in the money lending business anymore. That was way back when.
Laura 84. Michael, I thought you were the top Colombo earner, but I just heard it was John Rosati and John Stiluppi. I've never heard of them. Who are they?
Okay. And who is that?
Laura 84.
Laura 84 said that she thought I was the top Colombo earner, but now she heard of John Stiluppi and Rosati. Let me tell you something. During my time, I was the top earner. Now, I've been out of there for over 30 years. There's no question about that. I would like to crown myself with that at the time. But Stiluppi and Rosati, they're legitimate earners. And they're big in the automobile business. They're friends of mine. They were friends of mine. I haven't seen them in a while, especially Stiluppi. He used to come into all the clubs that I own. He's a good guy. And they are big earners. So I don't know if they're still associated with the family. I can't say that. But they're very, they're entrepreneurs and they're very good earners. I'm not going to say they topped me. But, like I said, I've been gone for quite a while. But good guys, really good guys.
Dr. Gold, would you interview Tom McDonald? And I love your interviews and stories.
Dr. Gold, would I interview Tom McDonald? I'm not sure who that is. If you DM me and send me some information on him, again, on Instagram, we'll look at it. And if it's something I think we should put on, we'll do it.
Okay, Hiram Bifidum. A good 80% of ethnicities on Earth have some form of organized crime and even have their own names for it.
Okay.
I believe the Italians just got a bad rap and image for that due to pop culture, entertainment, and
it's a long one.
Yeah, that's then it lost. Entertainment and romanticism.
Okay, what's his name? Hiram?
Hiram.
Yeah, and I'm listening to someone. My wife is reading me the question, so if you see a little pause, that's what it is. Hiram said that almost every ethnic group has some form of organized crime, but it seems like the Italians, the mafia, got the most, media, the most attention. That's true. And, certainly, and that's in America mostly, even more so than in Italy. And look, these are high profile, in a way, kind of glamorous figures. It all started way back when with Al Capone. And it just continued, all the way through. Lucky Luciano, Meyer Lansky, who was an associate, wasn't a made guy, but high up in the ranks. Of course, Vito Genovese and, Frank Costello, John Gotti, Gambino. These were all very high profile. And for some reason, the American media and the entertainment business just took a real shine on them and just highlighted them. And it became a real big deal here in the United States, unlike any other ethnic group. And, I can't answer it, just the way it happened.
Okay, all these ones I'm saying to you are super chat. So JB Weld Did the Gallo brothers really give Neil Delacroce a beatdown during the First Colombo War?
Okay, what's his name?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, did the Gallo brothers really give Neil Delacroce a beatdown during the first Colombo Profaci Gallo War? I don't believe that. I heard it, but I don't believe it. During my time in that life, I never heard anything about that. Look, the Gallo brothers were tough, no question, but so was Neil. And that was a tough war, but I never heard anything to verify that. I did, hear rumors about it, but I would doubt it. But you never know.
Okay, Jeff said, much respect for turning your life around. What a great example that you've set. God bless you and your family.
Jeff, thank you for the well wishes and turning my life around. Listen, you don't do that without having God in your heart and the right people around you. I attribute that to my wife, my church, and people that just kept me straight. Because listen, you can take the boy out of Brooklyn. You can't always take Brooklyn out of the boy that easy. You have to surround yourself with the right people. You got to really trust and believe in God and do the work. And anybody can change. I really believe that. You got to have the desire and the help. And you got to have God in your heart and in your life. And you won't be perfect, that's for sure, but you'll be a lot better.
Miracles Can Happen said, I'm 100% Italian. I'm only second generation in the USA. So I'm excited that you're brown and just to live your videos and your lives, to watch your videos and lives. Miracles can happen.
Well, thank you. Miracles can happen. Thank you for the well wishes again. And man, this is crazy. We got over 1,000 people in, and I really am thankful for all the support. Can you put the opportunity dot, people are asking, opportunity.com in the chat? Again, another question about the wine. Yes, that will be tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time. If you want to be my partner, want to be an associate, it's an opportunity for you to earn money. We're not asking for any huge investment. Anybody on this call can be my associate and my partner in what USA Today called the fastest growing wine company in the country. They named us as a $1 billion company. We're not there yet, but we're on that trajectory. So please, opportunity.franzesewine.com. You got to register if you want to be in there right now, because we're limiting the space. We already put 200 people in this associate platform, and they're loving it. We have our own website. They stay in contact with my partners. They know everything that's going on. And if things turn out the way we believe they will, it's going to be an opportunity for all of you to earn money and enjoy Franzese wine. You're in the inner circle. So opportunity.franzesewine.com. Next question.
Nicole's there. Do you know if the mafia was involved in Bobby Fuller's death? Bobby Fuller for they saying, I fought the law?
Do I know if the mafia, Nicole asked this question, was involved in Bobby Fuller's death? I never heard that. I never even heard a rumor about it, so I would doubt it. Normally, any high-profile murder like that, that we might have been involved in, when I say we, my former life, usually hear about it, and I never heard that, so I would discount it.
Francesco gave you a $50 super chat.
Oh,
John Berthenol could play your dad, Michael. He kind of looks like him. And did you ever have any interactions with Chicago or Detroit mobsters?
Okay, and what was his name?
Francesco,
thank you very much for that super chat. And I don't ask anybody, and I have to say this before I answer your question. I never ask or solicit for money on these sites. So please, if you see somebody answering a reply that it's me asking about crypto or money or anything else, that's not me. I don't do that. I'm not going to ask you for that in any way. If we have a business proposition, it'll be done in a different way, not on YouTube. So understand that.
So people do super chat so that you see their question.
Okay,
if
yeah.
Got so many coming through.
Yeah.
They don't. That's how they get you to see their question.
Right. John Berthenol, yes, could absolutely play my dad. He's. I've had a little conversation with him. We'll see what happens when they cast this, but yeah, he will. I mean, he could, and I would love to see that because he kind of looks like him. With a little makeup, he can look a lot like him. And did I ever have any interaction with which families?
Chicago or I forgot the other.
I did have interaction with Chicago. Yes, we were very close. New York and Chicago were close. I'm sorry we missed the rest of that question, but thank you again for that donation. I would say appreciate it very much. Let me answer this. Another $5. God bless you and your family. You should have daughters on again. I know, but try to get my daughters. You know what? They're all kind of camera shy. They don't want to be on. It's crazy, you know. But I am going to try to round them up and get them on again. But a lot's been happening in their life. JB Weld, have you ever talked about how your dad fell into the life? Was Profaci still around when you were in the streets? Profaci died in the early 60s, so that was before I hit the street. And my dad, you know, my grandfather was a very well-known guy in Brooklyn. He had a like kind of a social club, and some of the made guys would hang out there. My father was an amateur boxer. He caught their eye. He kind of liked the street life, and that's how it happened. My grandfather did not want him to get involved, tried to discourage him, but Dad made his own choice.
Okay, here's another one. It's from On This Day in MMA. He says, God bless you and your family. You should have your daughters on again. That was a great video. And the last thing, go Orioles.
Go Orioles. We're going to disagree on that. Yes, I will have my daughters on again when I can round them up. But I feel very encouraged about the Yankees. We always do in the spring, but they've been very disappointing the last several years. But hey, I got to compliment the Orioles. They came out of nowhere last year and put a tremendous team on the field. I think they're going to do the same again. You just got that pitcher. That's not good news for us Yankee fans. But hey, go Orioles as long as they're not playing the Yankees. They can come in second. I'm okay with that.
Okay, James once said, Michael, are you aware that Roy DeMeo's Gemini Lounge in Brooklyn is now a church?
James, am I aware that Roy DeMeo's Gemini Lounge, this place of bad things happen there? Am I aware that it's a church? Yes, I am. I have been told that. I haven't passed by it, but I have been told that. Amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it shows the redemption that Jesus
Yes, it shows the redemption that Jesus can do. You're absolutely right. Who would ever think that that place would be a church? But with God, nothing is impossible, my friends.
Okay, Kalina. Michael, I got to see you speak at Anchorage Baptist Temple. It was amazing. Do you have any plans to come back to Alaska anytime soon?
Kalina saw me speak in Alaska the last time I was there several years ago. Do I have plans to come back? I made a very dear friend there. His name is Vito. We stay in close touch, and I believe I will be back in the not too distant future. I really enjoyed the people there. I had a great time. Vito and I have become fast friends, and we do have plans for me to come again in the not too distant future. So stay tuned. You'll find out about it.
Okay, Jeremiah, you should do a reaction to the Star Trek episode, A Piece of the Action, where Kirk and Spock become mobsters.
Jeremiah wants me to do a reaction video to where Kirk and Spock become mobsters. Send me that episode, and I would love to. It'd probably be funny, you know, at best. But yeah, we'll do that. And I have to ask you, do you people like the reaction videos? And put this in the chat. Do you mind if I talk about current issues that I think are affecting our lives? I went on Rumble to do that because I didn't want to get people upset here, because some people didn't like that. And I have loyalty to my viewers, so I don't want to upset you. I want to give you the content that you want. But just answer that if you can. I mean, if you don't like it, let me know. If you do like it, let me know that too. And again, if you have suggestions of content like this fella just did, reaction videos, let me know that also.
Okay, Laura 84. Who was Anthony Ramundi? He ran the Diplomat and Monty's on Carroll Street in Brooklyn for Ali Boy Persico. Apparently, do you know anything about that?
Okay, good question about Anthony Raimondi. I will tell you this. I never heard of him, never met him, had no clue who he was until I saw him on YouTube talking bad about me. Now, for the 20 years that I spent in that life, 20 plus, I would say, I never even heard his name, never ran across him, don't know anybody that knows him. I know he put out there that he was involved in with the mob in assassinating or trying to assassinate the Pope. What does that tell you? I never heard that either. And I know there are no mob guys trying to assassinate the Pope unless it's in a movie. So, and as far as Carroll Street, I was there, for years. I never saw him or heard of him or anything else. So, you can make your own judgment from that point. Look these people up, research them, do your work. I don't like talking bad about anybody. I have nothing bad to say about them. I just don't know them. Never heard of them, period.
Okay. Floating Kites. Have you seen the new cut of Godfather 3 from 2020? It repositions the movie as an epilogue where Michael's sins finally catch up to him. Very solid.
Yeah, I've seen. I think it was the Godfather trilogy. I forget what they call that third one. I've seen it. You know what? I'm a Godfather 1 and 2 guy. I just like the purity, I would say, of those two films without messing with them at all. So, I didn't really appreciate the way they cut the third one in that trilogy. I think they put it all together or something. But Godfather 1 and 2, I love, and I stick with that. I think they were pure in their cuts. So.
TFWD says, have you ever thought about making a movie about your father? And best regards.
TF asked me, have I ever thought about making a movie about my father? Not solely about him, but honestly, in a movie about me, my father it almost was about the two of us. I mean, he played such a significant role in my life that obviously he's going to be featured in that, along with other people, my wife being one of them, because that's the story. I think my story is really about me admiring, loving, and being highly influenced by my earthly father, and then having the same happen to me with my heavenly father. And that was through the efforts of my wife and my mother-in-law. So that's really the story if you break it down. And I think I think people are going to be excited when they see it. I know I'm happy with what I see developing so far. So just stay tuned.
Jack G789 says, Michael, here in New York, we have 4 full families. Then we got this other pygmy thing over in Jersey. What's up with that?
Jack, we have 5 families in the New York area. Again, I always say this, people, the golden era of my former life, especially in New York, was really from the early 50s, late 40s, early 50s, right through to the mid 80s. We had 5 legitimate families there, 5 recognized families by the commission, and that had a seat on the commission, and that was it. So, I don't want to demean any one of the families, even from Jersey, but it's not the way it was, people. That's all I could say. Not the way it was.
Okay, Tinker says, I'm an American working with Italians out of Sausalito, Italy. I've always wondered why the Italians always say this. You Americans are too honest. What do you think that means, and why do you think they say that? Just asking, ciao, ciao.
Well, Tinker is asking why Italians say you Americans are too honest.
Maybe Italians are lying all the time.
I don't know. I never heard that. I don't think we were that honest on the street. I'll be honest with you, being very honest right now. I never heard that expression, so it's really kind of hard for me to respond to it. But hey, I'm glad they think we're honest. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
JB Well, did you ever meet Tony Ducks Carrillo? No one ever talks about him, but he seemed to be pretty sharp.
JB, did I ever meet Tony Ducks Carrillo? Yes, I did. I met him several times. And I liked him very much. He was a good boss. Unfortunately, he got hit with 100 years on the commission case, but he was a guy I had a lot of respect for.
Ramson Rasho says, I became a real Christian after watching your YouTube channel and reading your book in 2020. I thank Jesus for using you to help me return to the Father.
Well, what's his name? JJ
Ramsell.
JJ Ramsell, who just thanked me. He said it was through my testimony that he became a follower of Christ. That's so encouraging and rewarding for me to hear. I appreciate that very much, and God bless you. And hey, welcome aboard. We need more Christians out there, hopefully giving the right message to everyone. So thank you.
Oh, shoot. Never mind. Keep going. Okay. This is from Dive8356. Seems like you have inroads are gaining traction in England, which isn't necessarily an obvious connection. Any ideas why they are so interested in your story?
Yeah, this is from Di. I'm sorry I didn't get it all. These things move fast, and my wife is doing the best she can. But
you're saying why you're the fandom, and you're in London, and it is true.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, she's asking why I have such a fan base in the United Kingdom, and I really do. I think because they're fascinated with the mafia because they don't have it there. And, it was amazing. When I was there in 2022, I'm telling you, I was walking the streets and people would come out of pubs and bring me inside, have a beer. I go into a taxi. They recognize me. Michael, we don't need a fee. Just give me a signed book. It was happening everywhere. Such an overwhelming response. It was like I was a rock star there. Even when I went back recently to do some media, I mean, on the Pierce Morgan show, we're going to get close to 2 million views in just 2 or 3 weeks. So, people, I think, because again, they're fascinated with the life. They don't have the mafia there. They have, different kind of organized crime. So I'm very appreciative. The people are wonderful. So that's the only way I can explain it.
Augustus, have you seen Jesus Revolution and what do you think of it?
Augustus asks, have I seen Jesus Revolution, the movie? What do I think of it? Of course, I've seen it. Greg Laurie is a fast friend of mine and my family for over 20 years. We got a sneak preview at Greg's house. Wonderful film, terrific story. And it is the true story. Greg is wonderful. His ministry is wonderful. The church he's built, unbelievable. And all I can say is I'm hoping we have another Jesus Revolution because this country needs it. This world needs it. And let's pray that God has that in mind.
What did you think about your interview with Pierce Morgan?
What did I think about my interview with Pierce Morgan? I thought it was great. I mean, he was, he's going to ask me the tough questions. I knew that. I was prepared for it. But I liked him. We got along well. He was very respectful. I thought it was a great interview, one of the best that I've ever had. So, and judging from the way people are reacting, I think people enjoyed it very much. So he's a pro. I mean, look, you got to be ready for him because he doesn't sugarcoat anything. But I liked him very much. I would sit down with him again if he wanted to. So all good.
James Jones wants to know, what would it take to get one of the murals behind you?
Okay. James Jones is asking about the mural behind me. Well, I can tell you this, the canvas of this mural, which is spectacular, really spectacular. So many people have asked about it. The artist is tremendous, very talented, a little bit of history. About a year and a half ago, he asked me, he wanted to create something about the mafia. And I gave him this idea and I gave him 51 very prominent guys in that life. And that's how he put who he put in this painting. It took him a year to do it, over a year. We are going to be making it available in about a week and a half or 2 weeks. So we actually created a website for it. There's going to be other material around it, other product around it. We're going to offer it in a limited basis. And maybe this mural behind me might be one of them. But you're going to love the canvas. It's so unique, one of a kind. I'm going to sign some of them. So that'll, for any of you that, want that, it'll make it even more unique. Sammy Gravano and myself are the only two people on that are alive. He put me in it. I didn't ask him to, but, there was a courtesy, me and my dad. But yes, just stay tuned on X and obviously YouTube and Instagram will announce when we're going to make it available and how you can get it.
Playboy Floyd, was it common for mob guys to attend the funerals of the guys that they clipped?
Playboy Floyd, that's an interesting question. Was it common for a mob guy to attend the funeral of somebody that they clipped?
Yes.
It really depends on, it depends on the circumstance. Is it out of the question? No. And sometimes you would go just to show that you had nothing to do with it, but it all depends on the circumstance. But yes, it certainly has happened. And I know that for a fact.
Barker, please keep sharing your thoughts on our nation's current status and situations, because your insightful commentary is fascinating and informative based upon your incredible lifetime experiences.
Douglas is asking me to please keep sharing, my perspective on current issues. And, as long as I'm encouraged to do that, I will. Like I said, I'm now on Rumble because that's the platform that people do that on. And it's being accepted very well. I got to say that we're really getting, good responses on the videos, and I'm gaining a lot of followers fairly quickly. People, what could I tell you? There's a lot of things going on in this country that are very troubling to me. We need to straighten it out, and I want to talk about it. We want to make people aware of it. That's all. That's why I wrote the book, Mafia Democracy, to make people aware of how our government is acting. And you got to know this, this affects our lives, and it affects them very negatively if we're not on top of putting the right people in office and holding them accountable. That's the thing. Put them in office, hold them accountable. When they lie to you, you don't do the right, you vote them out of office. And I know some people say there's voter fraud. Listen, we can only take care of what we can take care of, but there's strength in numbers. So, do the right thing, get the right people in office, hold them accountable. And if you want to hear my perspective on it, I'm only too happy to give it, but that's up to all of you. I'm here for all of you.
Jan 7. Hello, Michael. I'm from Kansas City and was wondering if you knew or talked with Nicholas Sabella or his brother Carl. They were very prominent in the 70s and 80s mob in Kansas City.
Yeah, I forget who said this. What was her name?
Jen 7.
Jen 7. Do I know or did I ever have contact with Nick Sabella? The answer is yes, I did. And I knew a few people from Kansas City. Actually visited a number of them when I was visiting my father in back when he was in prison in Leavenworth, actually. So, yes, I did have contact with the people in Kansas City, the people that you mentioned. Yes.
Okay, Sam Trian wants to know, what's your ultimate goal with Franzese wine?
Sam Trian is asking what my ultimate goal with Franzese wine is. Obviously, we want to be a global brand. That's where we're headed. We just picked up a distributor in the United Kingdom. We picked up, I think, a distributor in Australia. And we have some very exciting news coming up, I would say, within the next 2 or 3 weeks here in the United States. We're really moving. We're going to be in at least 12 states this year, probably more, if this exciting news I'm talking about, which would put us leaps and bounds ahead of where we should be at this point. We're already there. And we want to make it a global brand. And we want to make a lot of money for our associates, too. For those of you that jump on board, people are already enjoying the fruits of that. We're working very hard. I'm playing a very active role in this. So, again, tomorrow night at 5 p.m., only because you keep asking, I'm going to keep saying it. Now, I might be making a mistake because we can only accept so many. But tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, we're going to go through it again, taking on a number of more associates and partners. And the website is opportunity, the word opportunity.franzesewine.com. Go on right now, register with your email, and then jump on tomorrow night. You'll hear all about it. But we're taking this all the way. I'm going the distance. It's not the gas business, but I think it's something that could be better than that. Number one, because it's legit, and because, it's one of those industries where you can do extremely well. And that's where we're going. And it's a great product. So do it. Opportunity.franzesewine.com.
Okay, this guy says he's 19. Hey, Mike from Toronto. Have you ever met Jimmy Coonan? If so, any interesting things about him?
Have I ever met Jimmy Coonan? Very dear friend of mine, stand-up guy, like Jimmy a lot. And yes, we did things with the Westies way back when. My father did time with Jimmy also. He's just a stand-up guy, great guy. And I got a message from Jimmy maybe about 5 or 6 years ago that very interesting, and it involved a very prominent character. And I might be revealing this information at some point in the near future. But yeah, Jimmy's a stand-up guy, love the guy very much. And unfortunately, he's doing a lot of time. I don't know if he'll ever make it out of prison, but stand-up guy and a good friend.
Okay, Michael says, Michael, knowing that jail was part of the deal, joining the mob, did that worry you on a day-to-day basis?
Knowing that jail was part of the deal, there's a $100 question in there. Knowing that jail was part of the deal when I got involved with the life, was that troublesome to me? Well, you got to understand, I was visiting my dad for years in prison. I knew it was part of the life. You just try to do what you have to do to avoid it as best you can. But, I always came to terms with the fact that I would do some time at one point in time. One of the reasons I got out of the life, because when I saw how excessive the time was under the RICO statute and how many guys were becoming informants, that's concerning. I didn't want to spend the rest of my life in prison. So yeah, that was very concerning. But yeah, I came to terms with the fact that I would do some time at some point, but I tried to limit that, and eventually I did. I got a 10-year sentence. I did 8 on that, so I think that was pretty good. To get away with doing 8 years, that wasn't bad.
Okay. Omnizar is the one who gave you the $100 super chat.
Omnizar, $100 in a super chat. Thank you so much. So let me answer your question.
In the world of spying, there is such a thing as double agents. If someone in the mafia have ever agreed to be an informant and then immediately went to their supervisors in the mafia about it after release. Would that potentially have a double agent have been considered? I don't know what he means.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting question. He said in the legitimate world, there are double agents, when you go back and forth between two parties. What would happen if a guy in the mob became a double agent? That wouldn't be good. It's just never going to end well. Greg Scarpa, 20 years, was, talking to the government. There was some word out there that Persico, my boss, may have known about it. Maybe he was playing both ends. I don't know, but that's a bad trap to be involved in, and it's going to end badly. It ended badly for Greg. It ended badly for Willie Boy Johnson, who was playing both sides. You can't do that. There's one or two other guys, I'm not going to mention their name, that I found out were doing the same thing. Didn't end good for them either. So my experience and my advice would be never to get involved in that, because it's going to end badly. One side or the other is going to cause your demise or cause you to, suffer tremendously, whether it be in prison or whatever. So I wouldn't advise it.
DJ Salty, how do the sit downs work and how do you win? Do you have any books that talk about this topic? DJ
Salty asked about a sit down. Yeah, in my book, I'll Make You an Offer You Can't Refuse, is a whole chapter, I believe, about negotiating a sit down, navigating a sit down, I should say. And if you learn how to navigate a sit down, it's very effective, even in the legitimate world, because it's all about negotiation. It's all about keeping your composure. It's all about knowing the person that you're up against at that time. It's all about knowing what you want to gain, knowing what you'll accept, knowing when you'll walk away. And keeping your composure, very, very important. Being respectful through these meetings, very important. But again, you asked, I'll Make You an Offer You Can't Refuse. I would go on Amazon and get that book. And there's a whole chapter. There's a lot of good experience in that book. I put a lot of my street experience into, legitimate business to tell you how to survive, how to prosper. And, we've sold a ton of books and, read some of the reviews on it. They're very, very good. So I think we helped a lot of people with that.
Bob Gable, did DA Fannie Willis seems to be in trouble. Will they drop the Trump RICO case in Georgia? Did she commit perjury?
DA Fannie Willis, she's the prosecutor in the Georgia case against Donald Trump. The question was, did she commit perjury? Again, I'm not the one to make that decision, but if you look at the facts that are coming out right now, the evidence, the allegations, it seems that she did. She claims she didn't have phone calls with her lover, at a certain date. And now they're finding text messages and phone calls that she did have those calls. So yeah, that's perjury because she said it when she was under oath. That whole thing is just people, I have to tell you something. Please understand this. This could be Donald Trump. It could be your grandfather. It could be a Democrat. It could be anybody. It could be the man on the moon. Whenever one political party starts to weaponize either the Department of Justice or law enforcement or prosecution agents to go against their opposition, and they have done that with Trump, it's very dangerous. It's no good, whether it be Donald Trump or anyone else. What's happening to Donald Trump is unprecedented in the 200 plus history of the United States with every single president. And it's happening and it's dangerous. And we can't allow that to happen. That whole case in Georgia might fall apart. These people, they just don't care anymore. They just abuse their authority so out there. They think they're never going to get caught. They think that they're shielded by it. They think that there's one set of rules for them and one set of rules for everybody else. And it's happening in front of our eyes. I'm not playing Donald Trump's, advocate on this. I'm just telling you, I'm calling you as I see it. It's bad stuff. You can see the preferential treatment initially that Hunter Biden got until the judge said no way. And they had to start going after him because, look, based upon the evidence, the guy got, I don't even want to get into that right now. I don't even want to get into the whole Hunter Biden thing and the favorable treatment and Joe Biden, all that, because I don't want to do politics on this. But you people have to be alert when you see a political party starting to use and weaponize their ammunition to go after the opposition. Bad news. This country's in big trouble unless we get that under control.
Okay. Kimball, What is your opinion of the Black conservative movement seemingly growing?
My opinion of the Kimball asked this, what is my opinion of the Black conservative movement that's apparently growing? I think it's tremendous. I think that the Black community, the African American community, has been played as suckers for years by the Democrats. They do nothing for them. They just think that their vote is something that they can count on. They've bulldozed them. They've suckered them. And I'm not blaming them because, unfortunately, and this goes for, Latin Americans also, Latinos also, okay? And I don't blame them. Why? Because the media, okay, the mainstream media covers for that party, for the Democratic Party. And it's propaganda out there that's making them believe that they're doing something for the Black, the African American, okay, and the Latino community, and they're not. And it's obvious. All the laws that they passed are more detrimental to the minorities than they are to anyone else. What's happening at the border, immigration, is more detrimental to minorities than it is anyone else. You got to understand this. And I hope that they get conservative in their values and they start to see that they put candidates in there that are really going to work for them. That's what it's all about. And people, I don't consider myself a Republican. There's a lot of things Republicans do that I don't like. I think they're spineless in many ways. I think that they don't know how to campaign. Other than Trump, who at least gets out there, they don't know how to campaign. Okay, they're spineless. I'm an independent. I want the best person in there that's going to be honest, that's not a hypocrite, that's going to do what they say they're going to do, and going to act on behalf of the American people and this country that I love. That's it. So for all of the Blacks and African Americans, my brothers, Latinos, and I really mean that, okay, as a Christian, I really mean that, go for the candidate that's going to do the right thing. Don't let these Democrats sucker you any longer. They're all full of baloney. They're not doing anything for you. And don't take my word for it. It's obvious. You know your life. You know what you're living. Okay? Don't let them bulldoze you and pull the wool over your eyes. You see, I get passionate with this stuff. I don't like when people promise something and they don't deliver. I don't like that at all. And we're seeing too much of it. And it's no good. It's got to stop.
Taylor Benson wants to know, did your dad ever meet Bugsy Siegel?
Caleb wants to know if my dad, who? Taylor wants to know if my dad ever met Bugsy Siegel. He says he did when he was younger. Bugsy originally came from New York. I can't verify that, and I won't swear to it, but my dad says he did. He has no reason to lie to me.
Okay. Do you know, DeGlocka wants to know, do you happen to know of Nick Moldavini?
Glocka wants to know, do I know of Nick Moldavini?
No.
Doesn't
No,
sound familiar to me.
no.
Who?
Moldavini.
Moldavini. Nick Moldavini doesn't sound familiar to me. Michael, you say to vote people out, but they're in there for 4 years. Well, I know that. But you know what? You can still hold them accountable. When you say your congressman is lying to you, write them a letter. Tell them. They listen because they want to get voted back into office. If enough people hold them accountable, they'll start to do the right thing. Trust me. They really will, because all they care about is staying in office, staying in power. That's all they care about. Come on. Biden all of a sudden now is going to visit, East Palestine after a year. Why? That's politics. People are complaining about it. He wants to get their vote. He's all of a sudden going down to the border after 3 years, claiming the border is secure. Now he's going to visit the border. Come on. You can see right through this stuff, people. You're not stupid. You're intelligent people. Okay, I see the comments from some of you, very intelligent. Don't let them pull the wool over your eyes. They don't deserve your vote or your confidence. They don't. And that goes for anybody, any one of these politicians. They're continuously lying to you. They don't deserve it. Do your best to vote them out. And if these darn Republicans and everybody would do their job so that things at the voting, at the polls go correctly, and we don't have to worry about all this mail-in nonsense, then maybe you'll get the candidate that the majority vote for. That's what we hope for.
And Douglas, keeping it real, what's your take on employment? And what is your take on the possibility of robots taking over jobs?
Wow.
How important is it to break free from it today?
Douglas wants to know what's my take on employment. I got to tell you, the job market is tough. We had pizza stores that we couldn't get people to work in, and we were paying them $20, $21 an hour, to put pizza over the counter. We couldn't get people to work. He asked about robots. Unfortunately, employers are saying, hey, if I can't get people to work, we still have to run our companies. So now they're investing in robotics. That's not good because it takes people out of everyday jobs. Okay, it's not good. But listen, I don't know if it's during the pandemic, people got spoiled because they got the government handouts, which they needed at the time. I'm not knocking that. But, it's time to go back to work. It's time to, get employed again. I mean, we got, I got to tell you something. I got to comment on this. There's a politician on the General Assembly, I think, in California, who all of a sudden, okay, puts in a bill where he wants to raise the minimum wage to $50 an hour. $50 an hour minimum wage. Does anybody know a psychiatrist this guy can go to? Do you understand how that's so absurd and ridiculous? Do you realize that that's impossible, that employers can't pay that? And if anybody could pay that, they would be hiring less people. And what would happen? Okay. The money that they have to spend would be passed on to the consumer. It's so ridiculous. Where do these people come up with these absurd ideas just to think that somebody's going to vote them in, that they're for the common people? They are absurd. They make no sense. How do we put these people in office? How? It's so ridiculous, really, people. Just spout it off. Anyway, next one.
Okay, eccentric views. Is the mafia in Australia? If not, do you think our COVID lockdowns would not have been as tyrannical if we had the mafia?
Eccentric Views asks, is there a mafia presence in Australia? Absolutely. There is. And they're the Calabrian sector, a group of that life, and they're pretty prominent there. And, if the mafia was running things, would we have the same issues with COVID, that we had with the lockdowns and everything else? Listen, I'm not gonna fantasize and say that, the mafia could do a better job than the government is doing on certain things. That would be silly to say that. But look, our government did not handle it well at all, not at all. And people, again, a guy like Fauci, who caused the death of many, many people, who lied to us, who gave us misinformation, who wanted to become a media star, who made a lot of money, who lied about the Wuhan deal in China. This guy walks away scot-free after the damage that he caused, the deaths that were caused because of his misinformation and his lying and his hypocrisy, the students in school that suffered because of these excessive lockdowns, and all the studies are showing that now, and they walk away scot-free. If a mob guy would do that, we'd be doing 1,000 years. If any one of you did something like that, okay, and you were on the wrong side, you'd be doing so many years. I mean, it's terrible that these people get away with this. They destroy lives and get away with it. And that's why we have to hold them accountable. We really must.
Michael asked, I know you look so good for your age due to mostly genetics. Thank you, Michael. Do you take any supplements or vitamins? And what is the best kind of food for your good longevity?
Well, Michael, thanks for the compliment saying I look good for my age.
Reconstruction.
Yeah, I look good for my age. Thank you very much. First of all, I want to say this, and I would say it on a stack of Bibles, my right hand, and I'd say this to the Lord above that I love. Okay, I have not done any work on my face at all, zero, none, other than I broke my nose 3 times and I've had my nose fixed. I didn't go in for a nose job. They just had it fixed. Excuse me. One time was for a deviated septum and they had to repair it. That's it. Some people say I had my jaw reconstructed. Some people say I take Botox. I don't do any of that. I haven't done anything at all. All I have done in my life is this. I've never smoked. I've never drank to excess. I drink wine. I don't drink anything else. I've never got obese. I never let myself go, and get too overweight. And I take care of myself. I don't baby myself. I've been all over. I think I have good natural immunity. I've never had COVID. I've been in front of people. All my kids had it. My wife and I have never had COVID. And we're out there. We're doing everything that other people do. Okay, so all of this kind of stuff. I just take care of myself. The best foods to eat, try to stay away from excessive sugar. Yes, you can eat carbs, and yes, you need protein, but you got to do everything in moderation. And really, that's all it is. I'm not a dietitian. I can't tell you, even though I'm surrounded by all my daughters are fitness. My wife, it's been her lifestyle since she's a baby, I think, to be in fitness and to take care of herself. So I'm surrounded by that. And that's it. I don't do anything else, but I laugh. People, he's got Botox and he had reconstructive chin surgery and all this crazy stuff. And really, all you got to do is take care of yourself. That's it.
That's good genetics too.
So, and it's good genetics. Yeah, good genetics. I have to say that. I've been blessed, I guess, in that regard with good genetics.
Ryan Brown says, God bless you, Michael. I was wondering if you have a favorite Bible verse. My life verse is Jeremiah 29:11. Through Jesus, I have helped lead my mother to Christ. She passed away 2 years ago. My father also found Christ. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, look, what's his name?
Ryan Brown.
Ryan Brown, thank you for sharing that verse, Jeremiah 29:11. Love that verse, for I know the plans I have for you. My verses, again, Proverbs 16:7 and Proverbs 3:5 and 6, the two verses that had such substantial impact on me the first night I was put in solitary and thought that was going to be it for the rest of my life. So, and you've led your mom and dad to Christ. I will share this. One of the regrets that I have is that I don't know if I did enough to lead my dad to Christ. I believe that, I've had thousands of people praying for him for years, 20 years, and I believe that the Lord answered the prayer. I think I could have done more. It was a little bit tough for me, it was tough. That's all I could say. I mean, I did share with him, but I think I could have done more. And hopefully, God has honored all the prayer. But good job. Hey, our job here on earth is to share the gospel with people, plant seeds, and let the Lord do the rest.
Get some. Jay says, I'm 62, never had any work done, but 11 years of boxing allowed others to do some work to my face.
Well, Jetsam, I hear that. You've never had work done, but as a boxer, other people have done work to your face. Well, that's okay. You can still look young, but that is funny. I appreciate that. Never had that experience. I got hit once or twice, but fortunately not too much damage. Dude.
DBE 8356 wants to know if you've ever been to Luigi's Pizza in Park Slope. Great stuff.
Have I ever been to Luigi's Pizza in Park Slope? I have not. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm in the pizza business, so I'm a little partial to my own pizzas, slices, which, by the way, you'll be seeing, across the country over the next couple of years too, in our pizza robotic machines that we have. Fascinating machine. The pizza comes out of there like it came out of the oven, and our pizza is great. I know people say, come on, Michael, out of a machine. Trust me, when you taste it, you'll see it. That's all I can say. I would not put my name or not be associated with bad pizza. I should be banished for that. That's worse than leaving the mob. But no, I've never been to Luigi's.
Okay. Bridget Draper says, what do you think can be done about the mental health crises we are having?
Bridget, great question. What do I think can be done about the mental health crisis? I will tell you this. I am going to be doing a video. I met with David Berkowitz. Some of you do at his prison just in the last several months. We're preparing the video right now, and I'm focusing on the mental health issue using David and his experience. Again, I want to be clear. I'm not supporting what David did in any way, nor does he support what he did. He knows he's staying in prison for the rest of his life. But I want to talk about the mental health issue. It is very serious. And I think when you hear some of David's story, you're going to understand that. But what can we do about it? We got to be conscious of it. We got to provide assistance and help, whether it be medical or otherwise for it. But we got to make awareness. That's what it's all about. Awareness. It's so important. We got to be able to recognize it. And we're going to be talking about it in these videos over the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned and you'll be seeing that. We'll be announcing it. It's going to be in two parts, the video, but we'll be announcing it shortly.
Okay. Curtis Barnes, do you think divine intervention occurs only when you're absolutely powerless to handle a potential dire situation?
Curtis wants to know if I believe in divine intervention. I absolutely do. In a serious situation or sometimes otherwise, I believe in that. I think it's occurred in my life. And I don't mean anything supernatural coming out of the sky or something I witnessed. No, I think that God knows how to put the right people in front of us, the right circumstances in front of us, how to, answer prayers of others with respect to our lives. I think that's how I've experienced divine intervention. But yes, I do believe in it. But I also believe that, you got to get close to the Lord. And maybe it's divine intervention that brings you close to the Lord, or maybe when you're close to Him already and you're in a dire or critical situation, the Lord will intervene. So yes, I do believe in it. Another question about the wine. I'm sorry, but a lot of people are asking this. Yes, tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific time, we're doing a webinar. Me and my partner, Sam, we have a lot of information. If you want to be an associate or a partner, and I'm telling you, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for all of you. Those people, over 200 that are involved already, are really enjoying the experience, and I think it's going to work out well. Go to opportunity.franzesewine.com. You have to register. We're closing it off. We're not going to let too many more people into this. So opportunity.franzesewine.com. Go on right now. Just stick your email in there, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 5 p.m., a webinar that we'll be holding, and we'll be giving you more information. And we got about, let me see how much more time. We got about 10 more minutes. So a few more questions, and then we're out of here. We had over 1,500 people come in. So thank you all very much for coming in on this.
Okay, Michael Scumbody says, "Hi, Michael. Something I've always wanted to ask. How would the mafia handle a vigilante who beat or killed a mob boss, like the Punisher, Daredevil? And how would the mafia handle a character like Joker and Batman?" These guys have some crazy questions.
Well, listen, how the mob would handle a vigilante.
Yeah.
What's his name? How the mob would handle, this is a question, of vigilante that might have killed a mob boss. Well, they track him down, they'd kill him. No question about it. You don't get away with killing a boss unless you're another made guy that's trying to get, his power. But then you have support behind you. That's what wars are all about in our life. You can never get away with that. How would they handle somebody like the Joker? Well, if the Joker came into our neighborhood and he caused any kind of commotion, they'd kill him, period. That would be it. Unfortunately, in that life, when people had to commit murder was committed. So, that's not something that people shied away from when it had to be done.
All right, well, I think you guys.
Yeah, let me get this. Was The Sopranos based upon the DeCavalcanti family? I believe so. That's what they said, right? It was the New Jersey family. Great series, of course. Melissa Marcello, God bless you and your family, Michael. My grandfather was from Palermo. You're doing fantastic work. You're bringing amazing content on your channel. Thank you so much for that, Melissa. And please, we love the encouragement. We try to do the best with the content that we possibly can. And remember, for those of you that don't want us to do current issues, then we have to keep going back, finding stories, interesting articles, things about the mob, things about crime that you can relate to. That's what we're all about. So we hopefully keep finding some interesting content for you. Okay, Michael, did you like Boardwalk Empire? Yes, I did. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good series. I think Terrence Winter was one of the writers. He's brilliant. But yeah, I enjoyed the series. I thought it was good. It wasn't all factual, but it was good. How do you feel about YouTubers digging up the past, literally? Well, listen, I don't enjoy YouTubers knocking other people. When you have to make your name or your platform by demeaning and knocking others, and unfortunately, when you do that, you're going to say things that are not true because this is based upon opinion. Sometimes it's sold as fact when it's really not. But for my part, I don't like to build a platform demeaning other people. I just don't think it's the right thing to do. And I don't think those platforms thrive. That's why I'm recommending Jeff Nadeau. He doesn't do that. And his platform is one of the best on YouTube. He does investigative work. He talks to people and he puts out content and he's unbiased. And I like that. So, and he's thriving as a result of that. So I don't think people should be demeaning other people. I don't think it works. And I think the results are out there to be seen by all. And that's not to say you can't make a comment about somebody, but if you build your platform on demeaning others, not for me.
Okay, did you get the one from Ryan Brown?
No, I missed Ryan Brown. Do you have?
Ryan Brown says, the senior pastor at my church, Randy from Calvary Chapel, Rockland, Massachusetts, told me that David Berkowitz was saved, and he considers Pastor Joe Feck his pastor. He is saved, so we need to tell you that.
Ryan Brown, yes. You asked about David Berkowitz, the son of Sam, being saved. The answer is yes, he is. He's an absolute sold out for Jesus Christian. He read my book several years ago. That's how the kind of connection came. And yes, and I believe he's genuine. And I know a pastor that goes and visits him quite a bit. He also pastors people in church, in prison, rather. So yes, he sold out for Jesus, no question. Michael, I just want to say I'm becoming Catholic to honor my father, whose parents are from Naples, and so hopefully see him in heaven. Well, that's great, brother. Catholics are Christians, and you ask for forgiveness from Jesus. You accept him as your Savior. Catholic, Christian, all the same, and God bless you. And best movie you're ever going to make in your life. Armand Asante to play your father. I love Armand Asante. He's brilliant, one of my favorite actors, a good friend, brilliant in every movie that he's in, especially mob movies. He played such a brilliant Gotti in 1996, the HBO movie. I would love for him to play my dad. We'll see what happens. You can't ignore questions that I don't understand that. What else? Berkowitz was supposedly Christian. He was gaslighting Maury Terry. I don't know anything about that. Sorry. Michael, I just read Blood Covenant. It was great. Thank you very much. Sorry to keep going in and out, but I can't read the questions if I don't. We all go to the Lord, big or small. You can fool mankind, but you can't fool the Lord. Absolutely. Some people that, are just haters out there. Oh, Michael, this Christian nonsense with you. It's all baloney. You're selling your Christianity. You're making money on it. People, let me tell you something. Don't ever worry about that, because I say this every time I get up in front of a crowd. I've been at over 1,600 churches throughout my 25 years in ministry, prisons, you name it. I've done it. And I say this. I can pull a scam on all of you. Maybe you may walk out of here and think I'm the greatest guy in the world, strong Christian, and I can be a total hypocrite. And people like that always get found out. But remember this, you cannot pull a scam on God. So if you do that, all I'm doing is sealing my fate. Because when I stand in front of Jesus, he's going to look at me and he's going to say, I never knew you. 4 words that I never want to hear. And that's condemnation for the rest of eternity. I'm not doing that, people. I'm not the best Christian in the world. I'm not a perfect person by far. I'm still a sinner, but I'm far better than I was. And I will tell you this, I believe 1,000% in Jesus Christ. Nobody can tell me any different. My faith in him is rock solid. Based upon my research, my experience throughout my 25 years of becoming a Christian, there's no doubt about it. I would be dead or in prison for the rest of my life if God didn't have a different plan and a purpose for my life. I'm convinced of that. No matter what happens from this point, I'm going to be 73 in a few months. So I've lived my life, and hopefully God will grant me many more years like all of you. But if he doesn't, I'm okay with it. I know where I'm going. I'm pretty secure with that. And that's because of God's grace and mercy, not because of anything I've done. Buoyant Bear, the Lord is the most generous but toughest boss in the universe. He's enormously gracious to his creation, very concise and clear, no loopholes. That is true. We still have 1,300 people, so I'm going to give it a little bit more time. Michael, have you guys had connection with the Italian mob in Italy? Of course we did. We worked with them quite a bit. Unfortunately, they were heavy into drugs. We weren't heavy into drugs, but we did work with them. Judging a person doesn't define you, but defines the one judging. Absolutely. Be slow to judge, people, because you're going to be judged the same way. Be slow to judge. That's something my father taught me, and that's one of the reasons I lasted in that life. Whenever something bad was put on a person, I was the last person to condemn them, because I knew when my turn come, if I was the first person to condemn others, I'd be the first person they condemn. Be the last person to condemn somebody. Give that person a break. Skinny called Chaz as your new father. What is your response? I'm not going to respond to that. It's just so low class and it's so ridiculous. Why would I even respond to it? I'm over that. Real nonsense. Chaz is a great guy. A very decent guy, a beautiful friend of mine. I love Chaz. I love his family. Stand-up guy, brilliant actor. Why would anybody talk negative about him, especially if you don't even know him? I'll leave it at that. Let's go, Mike. That says more about the person than it does about Chaz. Let's go, Michael. Been a fan for over a year. Been saved almost 3 years. I wasn't a good person. I loved your answer on being judged, and I don't know you. I don't want to hear that. Hey, I'm glad you enjoyed that, because I mean it. Last person to judge. As a Christian, I feel inspired by the way you live your faith. Man, I'm just so overwhelmed by all of these faith-based comments and questions. Thank you. Praise God for all of that. God and yourself are the only ones you can't lie to. Amen. Michael, will you ever interview the boxer Paulie Malignag? Don't know. If I had the opportunity, I would. Mike from New York, have you ever met Frankie Valli? Quick Frankie Valli story. I'm on trial. Giuliani, big case, facing a couple of 100 years. I'm in the courtroom. Frankie happened to be in the courtroom. He comes in. I mean, he was in the courthouse. He comes into my courtroom. He's right behind me on the defense table, right? We break for recess. Frankie gives me a hug because I knew him. Okay. The jury is watching him. Okay. I get acquitted in the case. One of the jurors, after we poll the jury, says to me, Michael, we can never convict anybody that Frankie Valli loves. So great story. And I believe it's true. Maybe he helped me get acquitted. I don't know. But yeah, I love Frankie Valli, one of my favorite artists. I never miss his show when he's in town. I love the guy. Brilliant. Jesus is Lord. Amen. God loves John 3:16. Absolutely. What's your predictions for the future and your life? I don't predict the future. I can only tell you this. If we don't see a return to faith, a return to God in this country, we're in big trouble. God's being pushed out of schools, being pushed out of government halls, being pushed off the sports fields, being pushed off everywhere. Okay, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. Look at the history, look at scripture. When God is pushed out, bad things come in. We have demonic forces in this world, people. Trust me on that. And it's not going to be good if we allow him to have his way. Only God can defeat the devil. That's it. So I hope we have a return. I hope we have a Jesus revolution in this country. I and my whole family are praying for that, and my church. I was wondering what your favorite restaurant was in New York City. Oh, gosh. I'm not going to answer that at the moment. Okay, I have a few, but I don't want people to get mad at me because I have a bunch. But if you DM me, I'll give you all my restaurants. How's that? Have you been to Youngstown, Ohio? Absolutely. Boom Boom Mancini, good friend of mine. Yes, there was a presence in Youngstown, my former life, and great town. And I love Boom Boom Mancini. He's back there now. He used to live in LA, but that's his hometown. Great guy. All money belongs to God ultimately anyway you got it. We need God now, and how? Can you talk about immigration? How the government is wasting money on wasting money on the people coming in illegally. Another sore spot for me, people. When are we going to stop what's going on at the border? I have to tell you this. Joe Biden is a pathological liar. He is lying to you. The guy lies about everything. The guy reversed all of Trump's executive orders that kept our border secure, that built the wall. He can do it with the stroke of a pen. He doesn't want to do it. He says he wants Congress. He needs Congress. It's a lie. It's an absolute lie. He said for 3 years the border is secure. It's not secure. All of a sudden now, because he sees his polling numbers are going down, now he's visiting the border. Now he's saying he needs Congress. This man is a pathological liar. He lies about everything consistently. He makes up stories that never happened in his past. He lies about the border. He lies about everything. He lied about his business dealings with his son, Hunter. But let's get back to the border. Look what these people are doing. Democratic cities are going under. They can't afford this. Crime is rising because of these illegal criminal immigrants that are coming in. We don't know how many gotaways there are. We don't know how many bad actors there are in this country. Why is he allowing this? There's only one theory that makes sense to me. He's going to somehow, some way give these people the opportunity to vote. And he wants to remain in power. The whole Democratic Party wants to turn the entire country blue. And yes, red states, the Republicans would love to turn the whole country red, but they're not doing it by allowing illegals to come into the border. The Democrats are doing that. Biden is doing that. Biden has blood on his hands. This Georgia girl, university girl, that was out for a jog and got killed by an illegal immigrant who had a record. How long are we going to allow this to happen? How long will we allow our police to get beat up by illegal immigrants who then go get arrested and come out on bail an hour later? How long are we going to allow this to happen? How long will we allow crime to come in our cities? How long are we going to allow illegal immigrants to get better benefits, more money, more health care than people that have lived here and worked here? How long are we going to allow this administration to abuse minorities in our country, minority citizens, blacks and Latinos? How long are we going to allow this? Trump is a better option. Point blank, he's a better option because he won't allow this to happen. Whether you like him or not, you got to admit it. Ask yourself a question. Was America better 4 years ago than it is now? Are you living better now than you did during Trump's administration? Ask yourself that question. Why would he change? He's going to do the same damn things. He's going to take care of the border. He's going to put our enemies at bay. He's going to reduce taxes. And hopefully, one thing mistake that he made, okay, he increased the national debt. He has to stop that. That has to get under control. We're bankrupting our children for the future. Okay, I've said enough. You heard my thing on immigration. I'm sorry, but when you get me started, people, 7 kids, 7 grandchildren, I worry about their future. I'm sorry. Any advice on choosing careers, Michael? Money or passion? Well, listen, you got to support yourself. So sometimes you do something that's not a passion of yours, but if you can fulfill both, make money while you're doing something that's passionate, well, that's the best. And it's too hard to answer that, quickly here. I do have a platform if you get involved in, and DM me and I'll let you know what that's all about. And by the way, I am on Maniac. Anybody wants to have a personal conversation with me, you can do that on Maniac, MINNECT.com. That is Patrick Bet-David's platform. It's brilliant. Get a lot of communication on Maniac, MINNECT. We can have a text chat. We can have a video call. We can have a telephone call. Whatever you want to do, go on Maniac and we can arrange that. See you in Glasgow, Scotland. Yes, for all you people in UK, I'm so excited to go to Glasgow. I really am. We had a great time there last time. Looking forward to getting back. Another question about the wine. Okay, yes. People, we're not asking for money, okay? If you want to be a partner of mine and you want to be an associate of mine, anybody that's on this call, okay, can do that tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We have over 200 people that have joined this platform, are associates of mine, afforded the opportunity to get involved, okay, and be a partner in Franzese Wine, the fastest growing wine company in the country, according to USA Today, the next billion-dollar company. We are headed in that direction. So you want to jump on board? It's an opportunity. Go right now. Opportunity.franzesewine.com. You got to register with your email because we have limited space. We're not going to be taking on too many more. We've just about reached our capacity. We'll see how this goes tomorrow night. That might be the last time. If we have room for a little bit more, we might do one more, but I know it's going to close down in March for sure. So opportunity.franzesewine.com. I'll be on that webinar along with my partner. Information is brilliant. We have a lot of people jumping on board. Trust me. How to dream big and get the car that I want, like a G-Wagon. I can't answer that, but dream big, but make sure you can back it up with substance to make that dream come true. Skinny Joe and Trump have a picture together. Yeah, so what? I have a picture together with Trump. I have a picture together with a lot of people. When you go to these events, he takes photos. So what? Trump is not a mobster, okay? Nor was he on the mob payroll, nor did he pay off mobsters. So let me make that clear. I know that for a fact. He's not a mob guy. Who do you want for vice president? I don't know. I want somebody for vice president that is ready to be the next president, really qualified. And I think we have some good people in that regard. I do not want Kamala Harris. Absolutely not. That woman is just not qualified to be vice president. God forbid if she becomes president. How did Gotti get away whacking Paul without getting whacked himself for breaking the rules? Listen, that's Gotti. It wasn't a popular decision, to do what he did. And there were people upset with him. Who knows how it would have played out if he didn't go to prison and die in prison. I'm not going to answer that because I don't know the answer, but I can say that a lot of people were very upset with that. People of significance. So who knows how it would have played out. Dear God, please no. For Kamala Harris, yes. Trump took a picture with Skinny Joe. He said that. What do you think of him? I'm not going to answer that. Do you know any of the Westies? I knew Jimmy Coonan very well and a couple of the Westies, yes. Now, that's a good answer. The next vice president should be ready to be the next president. Absolutely. Would you run for president in the USA? Uh, you know what? I tell you this, my wife would, first of all, I could never be president because the media would destroy me. They would look at my past life like it just happened last night, and they would do all the things to do to disqualify me. So that could never happen. I would tell you this. I would run for president. I wouldn't want a salary for it. I wouldn't want any compensation. I would just want to straighten this country out. And I think I know how to do it. I think I know how to work with Congress to get things done. Will it be difficult? You, absolutely. No question about it. You know, it's not easy for anybody in that position. But I can tell you this, I would govern this country, okay, for the benefit of the country, not for my political party and not for the donors and not for anybody else. Just give me 4 years, okay? If you don't reelect me, that's fine. I'll do what I have to do. I would work hard every single day. And I'm not campaigning because it will never happen. So what am I saying? That's who I want for president. I want for president the person that would do exactly what I would do for the country. And that's protect it from its enemies, protect the people, and make this country great because it is the greatest country in the world. Just make it even better. That's my response. If you follow the rules, are you guaranteed to survive the mafia, or even following the rules to a T, could you get whacked? Yes. You're not guaranteed anything in that life, even if you follow the rules, because there's a lot of treachery, a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy, a lot of backstabbing. So even if you're doing the right thing, I've seen people, die for reasons I don't think they should have died for, but treacherous life, people. Would believe you if you shut up about Trump. Listen, you know what? If you have a hatred for Trump, that's okay. You can think whatever you want of him, okay? I am not Trump's best friend. I'm never going to be his best friend. I wouldn't want him to be dating my daughters, okay? I can say that right now. But there are a lot of people that are in that category. I'm not saying he's a bad person in that regard. He seems to have a tremendous relationship with his wife, Melania. Okay, I want the best person that will do the best job for the country. And right now, I'm asking you this, okay? If Trump is the nominee and Biden is the nominee, who do you feel is going to do the best job for the country? I think Biden's last 3 years were a disaster, an absolute disaster. Am I happy about it? No. I wish I could say he was the best president ever for the United States of America. But I'd be lying. Everything he touches turns to bad. Everything. The guy doesn't know how to manage. He's incompetent in many, many ways. He's a pathological liar. He's destroyed this country at the border. He's done nothing to curb inflation. We look weak to the rest of the world. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on and on, but I won't because this is not about politics. He's just a bad guy and he's not a good president. So if it comes between Trump and him, I got to say Trump. I almost have no choice. There's a lot of people saying the same thing. It has to be Trump. Because if we have 4 more years of Biden, the way he's governed, or God forbid, Kamala Harris, we're done. We're done. All you people that said, Trump, if he gets back in office, the country's done. Well, what happened the 4 years that he was in office? Was the country done? We were in better shape back then. Just be honest. Put your hatred aside. Put your personality issues aside, okay? And say, who's going to do the better job for the country? Very simple. You look foolish to the rest of the world under Trump, a laughing stock. Okay, that's your opinion. That's how you feel. Other country leaders are laughing at Biden. Well, I don't want to get too political right now. So, did you know Tommy and Joe Bellotti? Yes, I did. Knew them both and got along with them. I'm a big fan of Jesse Lee Peterson. He calls Trump the great white hope. Okay, not going to say anything. USA is laughed at. We argue over genders and pronouns. I don't want to get started on that. We didn't get into this for that, but yeah, I think you know how I feel about that, people. What's your secret to looking so young? I talked about that already. Good genetics and taking care of myself. No plastic surgery. Take my word on that, on the Bible. No plastic surgery. Love from Sweden. Been watching you for a while. Thank you. Hope to get to Sweden. I will be coming to Scandinavia in the fall, I believe. That's pretty well arranged. So stay tuned and hopefully we'll have a schedule for you. Is your wine available in Georgia? Not yet, but it will be. Favorite snack, Mike, or do you not snack a lot? I don't snack a lot. I love popcorn. Popcorn in the movies. I won't go to a movie. Popcorn. Love it. Mike, what happened to slices? Closing our stores. We're in the vending machine business. That's it. We've got about 30 of our machines out there now. We're going into the state of Nevada. If you haven't seen it, I can post a video. It's unbelievable. 24-hour restaurant. Our pizza comes out of there like it comes out of the oven. People are loving it. We're placing it in hotels. Tesla has 9 of them. We're placing it in casinos. We're placing it in airports. The pizza is wonderful. And we're building a big kitchen in Nevada right now. And people, we're out of the franchise business. This is just taken over by storm. And we're having such great success with it. Big plans for it. Hopefully you'll see our slices micro vending machines across America over the next couple of years. Is your brother okay? My brother is okay. I'm going to be sitting down with my brother on YouTube in the near future, probably in the month of April. And I think people are going to enjoy that discussion that I have with him. Hopefully you'll listen and you'll be open to some of the things that he has to say. I love my brother. And I look forward to that. Popcorn, beer, and weed today. No beer and no weed. Michael, do you believe that Oswald fired the shots that killed Kennedy? The mob was in on that, along with the CIA. I believe that. I know that. No question in my mind about it. And Oswald was a patsy. Let's put it that way. Any stories from Baltimore? Not at the moment. Cheers from San Diego. Thank you. Love San Diego. Couldn't believe the flooding that you had down there this year, and hopefully you didn't get hampered by that. The picture behind you, where did you get that made? Do you still have the rosary beads given to you in Liverpool? Absolutely, I have the rosary beads. Thank you very much. I think it's copite. Sorry to keep leaning in, but I can't read that. It must be distracting to you all. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I have those rosary beads. And again, I talked about this is going to be available probably in the next 2 weeks. We'll have a website. I'll be talking about it. And I'm going to do a story about all 51 people, not myself, all 51 people that are listed in this tremendous canvas that's going to be made available. One of a kind, very unique. You'll never see it anywhere but from me. And me and Sammy Gravano are the only 2 people alive. And yes, Sammy is on there. Sammy was a major figure in that life. You give credit where credit is due. So yes, he'll be on there, and we're probably going to sign it for you, for those of you that enjoy signatures. So just stay tuned. We're going to be announcing it in the next 2 weeks. Would you ever consider talking to Jordan Peterson? I did talk to Jordan Peterson. He interviewed me. It was one of the best interviews ever. Go on his platform, put in Jordan Peterson, Michael Franzese, and you'll see a great interview. Jordan is brilliant. And one of the best, my wife said it's a favorite interview, that and Pierce Morgan, a bunch of others, but they were both great. What do you think of Matteo Messina Denaro, the last boss of the Italian Cosa Nostra? I did a video on him. You can look at it. Listen, he was the real deal. He was, how long was he in hiding? Unbelievable that he got away with it for that long. But watch my video. I think you'll enjoy it. I wonder what John Sr. would be doing these days. My dad... gosh, well, he'd be 106 right now, so he wouldn't be doing that much. Has the CIA gone domestic? I don't know. I'm currently watching the Peterson interview. Thank you. Dominic Gianti, have you had any run-in with the Magadinos? Not a run-in. No. Good people. Let me put it that way. The Undead Christian. Michael, I saw you in the movie Let There Be Light. Did you enjoy making it? And what was Kevin Sorbo like? Kevin and his wife, wonderful people. Yes, I enjoyed making it. They had to really twist my arm to do it. I am not an actor, people. I didn't want to do that film, but they made my character in it. And the writer, Dan Gordon, is a good friend, and Kevin was great. They convinced me to do it. Hopefully I played myself, well, pretty much myself. I was Pastor Vinny. Let There Be Light. If you want to watch it, you can. I don't know where you can get it, but I'm sure it's available everywhere. But it was a great experience, and it was a good movie, good Christian movie. Big respect for your dad. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Michael. My wife is arguing with me on if the mob sold drugs. I said no. She says I'm full of it. The mob did sell drugs. Mobsters did sell drugs. The mob in Italy, mafia in Italy, yes, they were big drug dealers. The mob in America, we were not big drug dealers. We were not allowed to do it in my era. We got killed if we did it. Were some guys doing it sneakily? Yes. Okay, but we were not big into drugs. Please believe me, I have no reason not to say this. We didn't even come close to what the cartels are doing in Mexico and Colombia. Not even close. We weren't into it like that. And I know people that died for dealing drugs during my time in that life. So please understand that. Was Vito Genovese a drug dealer? Yes, he dealt with drugs. Were there some others? Yes, but we were not big drug dealers in the mafia in America. God live, Michael. Thank you very much. Looks pretty big, that painting. It is big. Wow, we have more people on. I'm staying on because more people have jumped on. Please do a movie action video of the early 1980s movies, The Long Good Friday. Okay, I'd have to familiarize myself with that. Do you have a favorite Bible verse? I've already showed them. Proverbs 16:7, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Two among many, but my two favorite because they had impact on me when I needed it. Does Sammy have a big, I'm not going to answer that. When you, Mike and Chaz, bringing your show to New Jersey, I'm going to be coming to New Jersey at the end of May. I'll be announcing it. I forget the township that I'll be in, but I'll be coming. And then Chaz and I will be doing something. Chaz will probably attend that night, but I think I'll be doing that alone. And then he and I will follow up with a show. Any Canada stories? Not too many. You know, I wasn't too involved with those in Canada. I can tell you stories about that life. I wouldn't be included in it, but yes. Michael, I was a captain with the Gambinos in the 70s and 80s. I met you at Rocco's. Okay. DM me. I don't know who you are, but love to reacquaint myself with you. If you like, I'm certainly open to it. Thank you. Listen, I love some of the memories I have. I'm going to tell you this. I had a lot of good friends in that life. I don't knock the guys, my friends in that life. We had a brotherhood. Many of us were very close. I love many of those guys. They were good guys. You know, I call the life a bad life because families get damaged. Families get hurt. And that's a bad life. Any lifestyle that, causes families to be hurt. But I don't call the guys bad. I'm sorry. There were a lot of good people. Even the guys that, that were upset with me when I walked away. Carmine Persico. I love Junior. He was upset with me when I walked away. I get it. According to mob life and mob oath, I wasn't supposed to do that. So he was upset. I broke my oath. But I love Junior. Andrew Russo, my first captain. I loved Andrew. A lot of the guys, I love them. They weren't all bad guys, people. We weren't all bad. We did bad things, but we weren't all bad guys. Okay, I have another call to make, people. So I'm going to do 5 more minutes. So let me see if I can run through. Were you around when one couple on drugs was robbing? Oh, I know who you're talking about. I did a video about them. Yes, I was around during that time. Yes, I did hear about them. And yes, you know what happened to them both when they were robbing the mob. Yes. Trump haters are pathetic. Well, listen, let's not look. What I don't like is when the Democrats and when our president calls all MAGA people bad people. And I don't like when we as Republicans call Democrats who side with Biden bad people. They're not. They're not bad people. And we should be unified in this country. We should not talk about each other. We're all American citizens. We think differently. We need to be brought together, not be brought apart. We can't have that. Okay, so please don't talk that way. It's not helpful. That's the problem I have with Trump sometimes, and certainly with Biden and with the Nancy Pelosi's and with Hillary Clinton calling people on Trump's side deplorable. How dare she call people like that, good people that happen to differ in their political persuasion than she, and she calls people deplorable? I don't go for that, people. We're all people here. We have differences of opinions, but we need to come together. Hi, Michael. Mike, you named some of the guys that were in your crew. Would love a video on that as well. I can do that. I can talk about my crew. I love that. Frankie G and Frankie and Vinny Aspromonte and Joe the Taylor and a bunch of guys love to do that. That's a good idea. Maybe I will. Michael, if you still do a mob movie Monday, would you do Married to the Mob with Michelle Pfeiffer, Dean Stockwell? Great movie. It was a comedy, but yeah, if you want me to do that, I can do that. I think that would be fun. Come to Kansas City. I would love to. I love that city. Been there many times. Joe Capabianco, my cousin. You don't talk much about your mom. I'm a distant relative of the family. Joey, you're not distant. You're my first cousin. If you are my first cousin, you're right. I don't talk enough about my mom. My mom and I love my mom, and she was a rough woman, and we banged heads a lot my whole life. But I love my mom. She went through a lot. 33 years without a husband. I mean, you're right, Joey. Maybe I should talk about my mom a little bit more. And thank you for pulling me up on that. I appreciate it. Okay, Michael, how do we DM you? I've tried, no response. DM me on Instagram. At Michael Franzese is my Instagram, and DM me. I don't see it all. My team does, but they'll get the important ones to me, and I do jump on there. So please DM me. I can't put my email on here, people, because I get so many emails as it is, and I'll be inundated. Again, Maniac, MINNECT.com. If you want to have a one-on-one, talk personal, talk business, you want to text me, I respond to everybody. There is a price involved in that. It's not my platform. I don't create it, but I made my prices a lot more reasonable than some of them on there. You can see that because I'm not looking to, break the bank. We have to charge some. That's what the platform's about. But Maniac.com, but it's a one-on-one with me, and that's me. Okay, nobody else. Kick the ladder. The world is breaking, but we're here. Of the billions of souls who have ever existed, we're all here, regardless of race, color, and career. That's a great statement and a great testimony that you put in there. Thank you very much. And that's from Kick the Ladder. And thanks for the donation. Again, I really appreciate it. You don't have to do these donations, but it does catch my attention. I think that's why you do it. Are all mafia rules the same in each family? Pretty much. They differ, but pretty much the same. Did the mob instruct Jack Ruby to take out Lee Harvey Oswald? You bet they did. Absolutely. Did you know guys in the Detroit crime family? I did, but I didn't have much interaction with them. And I do have some stories, yes. You want me to tell them? I could do that. Absolutely. Love from Iowa. Thank you. Love Iowa. Been there many times. University's there. To Mike, did you ever eat at Stevie's Pier 1 in Bayville, New York? Don't think so. No. Is that new? Was it around in the 80s? Don't remember that. Okay, Michael, what was your initial impression of Berkowitz? Son of Sam, I have to say this, he's obviously very humble. He's done many, many years in prison. I told him straight out, I'm not here to sing your praises, and what you did was horrible. He said, Michael, I'm never getting out of prison. He stopped going to his parole hearings. He didn't even want to go to parole because he said he deserves to stay in prison for the rest of his life. You're not looking for anything. I felt him to be very sincere. And I really was keying in on him, on his responses. I was watching his facial expressions. I believe David Berkowitz is sorry for the crimes that he committed and was very sincere in his conversion to Christ. That's my impression. I'm going to talk more about it, and you're going to get to decide for yourself. And again, we're not giving him a pass on his crimes. Horrible thing to do. And we're not making excuses, and he's not making excuses. But you'll see it, and you'll form your own opinion. When do you think you'll die? I have no idea, my friend. I'm not trying to rush it. Whenever God says your time is up, that's it. But I'm in no hurry. I would love to be able to surpass my dad. That would be great. He lived to 103, but we'll see. And people, I got to mention this. There's people out there, the haters, that make remarks. Sonny's not your father. Sonny Franzese is the only father I knew. Okay? That's it. Whether he's my father genetically or not, he's my father. I loved him. We had our disagreements. You know that. I'm not going to go into the story right now. But for people to make remarks about that, it's so low class and so pathetic. It really is. He's my father. He's the only father that I knew. Does that mean to say if somebody is adopted, that's not their adopted parents? I don't know why would people talk like that. It's just so low class. That's all I could say. He's my father. I loved him, and if there's any stories about anything else, if that's what you enjoy doing, then go for it. Vito Genovese was my great-grandfather's first cousin. Okay, well, you got blood in there, bloodline. Did you know the Rizzutos from? No, I did not. I did not know them. Upstate New York here. Great. Loved it upstate. Are you going to have another sit down with Armand Asante? I'm sure I will. And hopefully, when this film TV project comes forward, Armand will be involved because I love him as an actor and a friend, along with Chaz Palminteri and others. Are your books actually signed or printed signed? No, I sign every book, every book. Okay. You'll never see a machine printed figure. These are all my signatures. And I guarantee if you know 5 people with my books, you're going to see 5 different signatures. And if you want a signature book, it's michaelfranzese.com, or you can get on any one of my website stores and you can get it. Okay. I'm going to have to wrap it up now. Did you know the Cherry Hill Gambinos? I roomed with one of them, Rosario Gambino. When I say room, I should say he was my cellmate in Terminal Island for a couple of years. So yeah, I knew them. Sal Rosario was a great guy, knew his family and his brothers. So yeah, good people. God bless you, Michael, and your family. Ribzilla71, thank you very much for that. All right, people, going to have to shut it down. F. Lee Cole for saying Sonny isn't Mike's real dad. Hey, that makes him happy. Let him do it. Obviously you don't like to hear personal things like that. What satisfaction does anybody say about that? My daughter-in-law, who I love, married to my son, is adopted. Do I say to her, she was adopted as a baby? Do you go to her and say, well, that's not your parents? I mean, why would you do that? I don't get it. Why would somebody do that? The only father I know, period. So what? I love my dad. People say blood is thicker than water. Not all the time. I've seen families go at it, man. And I've seen friends have stronger relationship. Marriages have stronger relationships. So I don't know if blood is always thicker than water. It's love, it's bond, it's respect, it's feelings. That's what matters. Sonny Franzese is my father, period. Favorite gangster film from your reviews has to be the Gotti 1996 HBO movie. I just love that movie. Authenticity, acting, screenplay, everything to me just worked. And of course, I love The Godfathers. I like Goodfellas. I love Donnie Brasco. I love The Bronx Tale. They're all great movies, and you got to give them all their due. People, I'm going to wrap it up. I have to ask, a lot of people have asked about the wine. I'm going to leave it at this. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, there will be a webinar with myself and my partner, Sam. We're going to go through all of it with you. USA Today called us the fastest growing wine company in America. I believe we are. We're also going to be in the UK and Australia. Our goal is to be a global company, and we are heading in that direction very quickly. Franzese wine will eventually be a household wine variety, or a wine product, I should say. So if you want to be my partner, and again, everybody on this call, I guarantee you, can be my partner in Franzese wine, an associate of Franzese wine, and get the opportunity to grow along with us, make some money. Make some money. I mean, why not? We have to find different ways in this day and age, to take care of ourselves and our family. So if you're interested, opportunity.franzesewine.com. Let me put it in the chat so it's in there. OPPORTUNITY. I spelt it wrong. I'm not good at this, people. OPPORTUNITY. Opportunity.franzesewine.com. Okay, it's in the chat. I would go there right now and register. Just put your email in there. It doesn't cost you anything. And then remember, I'll put it on X tomorrow morning again. We have a webinar at 5 p.m. Pacific time. We have a lot of people in there. I don't know how many people we're going to allow in, because we already have over 200 partner associates in Franzese Wine, and they're loving every minute of it. We have constant communication with them. We have a website, a chat, emails that go back and forth. We keep you up to date on the company and everything that's going on. So please, opportunity.franzesewine.com. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Tune in, but go and register right now, or you might be shut out. Okay? People, I love this. If you want me to continue to do this, because I'm going to watch this, Just tell me, Michael, we like these lives, and I'll try to do 1 or 2 a month just to answer questions and to get to know some of the people better. Hope to see many of you on my UK tour. I'm also going to Dubai. Very excited about that in April. I'm also going to, where am I going? Monaco in June. And of course, I'll be doing many dates. Tomorrow morning, I'll actually be in Chino. Anybody here from Chino? Mayor's Prayer Breakfast. I got to get up at like 4:30 in the morning. They always start early. I think we have 1,000 people attending tomorrow morning in Chino, the Mayor's Prayer Breakfast. If you want to be there, I think they're serving breakfast at 6 a.m. And you can find out about it. I'll be giving my testimony there like I do very, very often throughout the month. So people, thank you all very much. God bless each and every one of you. Please comment. Please, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Go on Rumble. Catch me there. And hope to see many of you in Franzese Wine tomorrow night in our big webinar, opportunity.franzesewine.com. God bless each and every one of you. I love you all. I really mean that. Thank you for being such great supporters over the years, and hope we continue. And that's it. God bless. See you soon. Take care.